Hey everyone, Tim with Collect Jurassic here with another exciting news update. Not talking about Mattel for once, we're talking about Jada Toys and some new releases on the way for them. If you're not familiar with the brand, they've been making Jurassic toys since Jurassic World 2015. They had all kinds of releases out with that movie, mostly Jurassic Park Jeeps, Mercedes-Benz from Jurassic World, a couple other releases here and there, but they really haven't done much with Fallen Kingdom or anything like that. But looks like Jada's getting back into the game. Leading into Jurassic World Dominion next year with some super cool releases that I'm very excited about. I mean, this one is totally cool. So let's get right into it because it's you got to see it to believe it. It's Jurassic Park, not Jurassic World, which is right out the gate just so cool to me. And it's these Nano vehicles, very small vehicles from Jurassic Park. This is part of their Nano Hollywood Rides line, which are micro scale. I think they've done like Back to the Future and Transformers and Fast and the Furious. They've done a couple properties at this point that sort of have these, signature vehicles from the movie. But I mean, what's more iconic than some of Jurassic Park's vehicles? So it makes perfect sense that eventually they would use their license they have with Jurassic to go ahead and hit up these classic vehicle designs and go ahead and release them. Again, leading up to Dominion, I think we're going to see a lot of nostalgia-based products, and I think this is just sort of leading the charge of that. But let's go ahead and talk about the vehicles themselves. It does come with 3 different vehicles, and these things are small, like very small. I actually took a look at the Hollywood Nano rides in the store earlier this year, and I was kind of surprised with how perfectly small they are. They're not so small that you can't get detail, but they're not big like a Hot Wheels car. Think about something maybe a little bit bigger than a Micro Machine, but definitely about a third as small as a Hot Wheels. So very, very tiny. That's what makes them cool. I mean, as a kid, I always wanted Jurassic Micro Machines, and this is probably the closest thing we'll ever get to that. And again, they managed to pack a lot of detail in. And what's exciting is we're getting 3 different vehicles, which I'll go through each one as we talk about it. But you can already see here, we're getting the Jeep, we're getting the helicopter, but we're getting this Explorer too, which I'm just over the moon about because the Explorer is just such an iconic vehicle for Jurassic that doesn't get enough toy love in my opinion, but we'll talk more about that when we get to it in this video close up. But let's go ahead and start off with the InGen Helicopter, another vehicle that hasn't got a lot of toy love. I mean, we've gotten helicopters here and there with Jurassic in toy form and collectible form, but as far as the InGen Helicopter, the only thing I can really think of is I think it was a Hot Wheels or Matchbox released in the 90s. Very rare. That was the InGen Helicopter. But even it wasn't like meant to be film accurate. It was literally just taking an existing toy they had for a helicopter and kind of plastering the InGen logo on it. But this one's a little bit more faithful. I mean, definitely custom designed to be like the movie with the tail call sign too, with the blue stripes. So really fun little guy. I think when we think about Jurassic vehicles, we always think about the Jeep and the Explorer, but the helicopter gets some love too. I mean, look at this thing. It's definitely evokes that opening scene flying through Nublar. And then when we get there, what do the guests get on but the Jurassic Park Jeep? I think the Jeep is definitely the most front and center vehicle out of all of the Jurassic vehicles. And I've often asked why it gets kind of the spotlight in front of all the other vehicles, and I've been told that's because these people that restore these and make them for themselves. The Jeep is much easier to kind of replicate as a hobbyist versus something like the Explorer and obviously the helicopter. So that's kind of why the Jeep gets the most of the love. But I mean, it's still an iconic design with that red stripe and numbering, and all that's here on the toy, even the little red hubcaps and the roll cage. I love it. You notice the windows aren't clear, but I think that's just kind of the style with these as they paint the windows. But very, very adorable, but also accurate with that little Jurassic Park logo on the side in red. But let's talk about the Explorer. I'm super excited about this. I said it earlier in the video, we just don't get enough Explorer toys. I mean, we've been begging for one from Mattel for years now. Obviously, Kenner came out with their Explorer toy, and it's very, very popular. I would say it's definitely more popular than the Jeep they came out with, or the Bush Devil Tracker, if you want to be accurate. But here it is again in this Nano form. It's got the yellow hubcaps. It's got the kind of green to yellow paint job. It's not really gradated. It's sort of a harsher divide, but that's kind of understandable with the scale we're working with here. But even the little front grille is accurate to the movie with the cameras that look at the rails. I mean, it's all here. The yellow Jurassic Park logo. This is definitely, out of all 3 of them, the one I'm most excited about. But overall, this is just a great great pack of 3 different vehicles. I think this will retail for something like $8.99 to $10.99. I don't know exactly the price range. I think at Target it's like $8.99. But you know, it'll be here before you know it too. I was told that they'll be hitting stores in March, which is basically next month, if you think about it. And they could be hitting sooner even. And I know that they're already on Canada, Toys R Us website. So internationally, definitely going to be available in some places too, including Europe. So we'll just have to wait and see. But just super, super exciting. I mean, Jurassic Park merchandise is always sort of few and far between. We're getting more and more, it seems, as time goes on, especially leading up to Dominion. But as far as toys go, you know, we have to wait for the occasional legacy set. But here we are getting 3 vehicles from the first Jurassic Park, and I just couldn't be any more excited. And I'm excited that Jada is definitely getting back in the game with Jurassic 2. I'm really hoping we start to see, you know, maybe some more vehicles from them, especially more Explorer toys. I mean, they did a bunch of different versions of the Jeep in 2015, remote control, die-cast, and a couple different sizes. I mean, I would love a remote control Explorer. I would love a couple die-cast versions, bigger versions of the Explorer if they could squeak that out. So I'm hoping that this sort of Nano set is the beginning, and I'm hoping there's more Nano sets on the way. I mean, it says Jurassic World in the packaging. Are we going to get some gyrospheres, some Mercedes-Benz, you know, some, you know, Owen's motorcycle? They could really go crazy. And with Lost World, I think they would really please the fans, kind of porting over some Lost World vehicles to this miniature scale. They could really have a lot of fun with that because there's just so many vehicles across all the movies that they could give this treatment. But happy they started out with Jurassic Park. But that's all I've got on this little set here. Again, it will be hitting stores here in the US in March. We'll definitely be keeping track of it on the Collect Jurassic channel, hoping to also grab it for myself and do a review, of course. I'm just so excited about these little vehicles, especially that Explorer, and I'm just really hopeful that more is on the way, more Explorers in particular, but just more Jurassic vehicles from Jada on the way, because they did such a good job with that first movie's release that I'm hoping they're really going to come back and hit it hard for this next movie. So that's all I got for today. Again, I'm Tim with Collect Jurassic, and thanks for watching.